welcome to the Marvel Cinematic University. I'm your Professor Alix, and this is Jake with the. What are you doing?
I created a particle accelerator.
Okay, Tony Stark. Well, this is Marvel Cinematic University, where every week we come together and I teach you about Marvel, everything there is to know.
Indeed.
Every Thursday, you can get the podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Stitcher, I believe, as well as Apple Podcasts. A little look behind the sausage here. We pre-record these.
That's the only thing of our podcast.
But the first episode finally came out, and I think it looked good. I think it ended up well. People
ended up well.
People have watched it. People have seen that I have posted it.
Okay.
So hopefully that means people will see this one eventually too when we get to episode 8.
Yeah. Keep watching them. I'm sure they're going to get better as we go because we'll be better at it.
Don't promise things you can't keep.
You're right.
Yeah, I know. I'm always right. Well, anyway, Jake, this week we're talking about some one-shots.
One shot, two shot, red shot, blue shot.
Not those kind of shots. We're talking about The Consultant, A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Thor's Hammer, and Agent Carter.
Yes.
Which actually that's not true. 2 of the 3 take place during what we learned last week was Fury's Big Week.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how something strange happened on the way to Thor's hammer kind of ties in with everything, aside from being like comedy relief. But I guess
welcome to class.
Yeah, I guess it's just like detailing Phil Collins' trip to New Mexico.
Did he have an invisible touch? Yeah, you called him Phil Collins.
Oh yes, something was in the air tonight or that night.
He seemed to have an invisible touch. Yeah. No. Okay.
I will never accept you for your singing.
Fine. That's fair, and I'll accept it. So the one-shots. These one-shots were DVD extras.
Oh, so it's like you go into those special screens on the DVDs and you can watch some extra stuff.
Exactly. Now they're just uploaded as their
generation does not know about those.
Nope, and that's why they're uploaded as their own thing on Disney Plus.
Yeah. There was nothing better than getting a DVD and then going into it and finding out there was games related to the movie on the DVD.
This is completely aside and has nothing to do with what we're talking about tonight, but did you ever own the Lion King 1.5, Lion King 1, and Lion King 2 DVDs? And they had those like little roller coaster things, and they were all like a trilogy?
Yeah. Definitely spent like hours, taking those movies out of and putting the next one in, playing the roller coaster trilogy. Did you ever have the DVD for like I think it was Shrek 2
that had American Idol?
Yeah.
And you could vote.
Played that one for hours, dude.
But then, like, if you picked, like, there was only 3 winners. If you picked one of the non-3 winners, you got, like, Simon Cowell singing.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
The winner is me!
But this generation has no idea what they missed.
No, you wouldn't. You'd watch a movie, and then you'd spend the next 5 hours playing the games on there.
No, even better, you wouldn't have time to watch the movie, so you would just play the games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is essentially what this is. They were just extras on the original DVDs that came out. So The Consultant was an extra on Thor. A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Thor's Hammer was an extra on Captain America: The First Avenger. And Agent Carter was an extra on Iron Man 3.
Yes. Not during Fury's Big Week.
Not during Fury's Big Week, no. The Consultant and A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Thor's Hammer did happen during Fury's Big Week. The Consultant happens pretty much immediately after. So you see Agent Sitwell and Agent Coulson sitting in a diner. They're still in New Mexico. And this is pretty much right after Tony Stark became a consultant for S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, it did appear to be a New Mexican diner from the looks of it.
I mean, if you look outside, there's a desert.
That's how I could tell.
Yeah, exactly.
that
And then
that was the clue that really gave it away.
Oh, it wasn't the dust bunny, or what are they called?
The
Tumbleweed.
Tumbleweed, yes.
I called it a dust bunny, but same thing.
Well, there could be some dust bunnies in there. You never know.
Everyone knows only New Mexico has dust bunnies.
Yeah.
So a funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer. It actually happens during, pretty much smack dab in the middle of Fury's big week, when Coulson is traveling from Iron Man's house to New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the tie-in right there. It's basically just like where Coulson was for those unaccounted hours.
Okay, and he's beating the crap out of two guys in a gas station who try to rob it.
Exactly, and this also
brutally interrupt him picking whether he wants chocolate-covered donuts or powdered donuts.
I know, he was making a tough decision, and they just come in and rob the place, and it's in the middle of nowhere. Like, what are they expecting?
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest here. How much money does that gas station have? Like, they're robbing $25 at most from that place.
This man's my only customer.
Yeah, it's probably the only customer she's seen in 12 days. Like,
exactly.
And he buys $1.50 worth of donuts.
Oh my god. Yeah, they were there for $1.50.
They lost money that day.
What happened was there was a soda machine out in front of the store that they didn't have enough money for, so they came in and robbed the store. Instead of getting one of the sodas in the store, they actually just were robbing $1.50.
Yeah, you can make the case the robbers were doing that gas station a favor because they
could claim the insurance
for the day, and they would have saved money on utilities.
Yeah, they can claim the insurance.
Yeah, exactly. That's the most they've made in years.
Oh my god. Yeah, so I was going somewhere with that, and then we went on a whole side tangent.
Whole tangent.
This kind of works as a backdoor pilot for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Agent Carter also worked as a backdoor pilot for the Agent Carter show.
Yes.
So you get to watch 2 whole seasons of Agent Carter do what she did in that short, and you get to watch 7 whole seasons of Coulson doing Coulson. Oh man, you didn't laugh during on a funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer?
I thought it was pretty funny. I mean...
Yeah. So you don't think you'll like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I don't know, maybe.
It's Coulson being Coulson. How much do you want to see Coulson die?
Huh?
How much do you want to see Coulson die?
On a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
I don't know, a 4?
Okay. How many times would you want to see Coulson die?
Minimum 7.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you'll like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, that's about how many times he does, I think.
Oh, okay.
All right. And then, so we were talking about timeline. So Agent Carter obviously doesn't take place during Fury's big week. Agent Carter takes place a year after Captain America.
Yes, I saw that when I watched it. It said 1 year later.
Okay, well, this is for the audience who may not have watched the movie and done the homework.
It's so hard to know if you're teaching me or the audience.
I'm teaching everybody. You're just my star pupil.
Ah, yes, that's me. Don't you forget it, class.
You're the only one who has to take the quizzes.
Yes. Post them on your Twitter.
Post what? The questions? The answers? The quizzes?
No. Yeah.
I mean, they could just do it while the podcast is going. If they watch a video podcast on YouTube, or Spotify apparently has the video podcast as well, they can see the answers and circle them on their screen, but probably don't use a permanent marker because it will ruin your screen.
Yeah, use a Sharpie.
Are you unaware of what a permanent marker is?
Oh, I'm aware. Use a pencil, you can erase that.
Oh my god, I hate you. Well, Jake, it's that time. You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for you to tell us about the consultant.
The consultant? I mean, that was just Sitwell and Coulson in the diner talking about how they can get Blonsky on the team, or because the World Security Council wanted Blonsky.
when I heard World Security Council, I was like, oh, Jake's gonna love that. His favorite.
WSC.
His favorite group.
Those stooges wanted Blonsky on the team, and they were like, nah. So they sent Tony Stark to talk to the general and piss him off.
Mm-hmm. Why did he want to piss him off?
I think it was so Blonsky would stay locked up.
Exactly. So essentially, what's happening here is it's after Thor. Coulson's dealing with the fallout of the Avengers Initiative going horribly wrong that week, and wants to talk to is talking to Sitwell about this mission that he's been assigned to send somebody to tell Blonsky, hey, or tell General Ross, hey, we need Blonsky, but they don't want Blonsky. Only the World Security Council wants Blonsky.
Yeah, they don't know much. They're not that smart.
Now Sitwell, do you recognize Sitwell at all?
Yeah, he's from S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, what movie was he in?
The first Avengers movie.
What movie prior to this was he in?
The Thor movie.
Yes, he was in Thor.
Yes, see? I watched it.
Yeah? Did you guess?
No.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Are you positive?
100%.
Okay, sure. Yeah, Sitwell is in the... Yeah, I know.
No, I didn't get it.
Sitwell is in the compound with Coulson while Thor is breaking into the compound to get his hammer.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, obviously, Sitwell is in New Mexico at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this works as an explanation for why there was a cameo of Tony Stark at the end of the Hulk. Basically, they wanted him to really, really mess it up. And how does he mess it up? He buys the bar.
Power move.
I think this worked perfectly to explain that, because for 4 years nobody really understood why that cameo happened. It didn't make any sense. Who sent Tony? Why was he there? What does he know about the Avengers Initiative? Because by Iron Man 2, he still doesn't really know anything about the Avengers Initiative.
Just a consultant.
So yeah, I think it really ties it in and kind of explains that S.H.I.E.L.D. does already know about the Hulk and is keeping tabs on the Hulk. Oh yeah,
that's WSC is trying to blame the Hulk for what happened.
Exactly. They're like, Blonsky's a war hero. Fuck Bruce Banner.
Yeah, that's exactly what they said. Didn't work out well for him, as we will find out later.
He joins the Avengers, I think.
I'm thinking the Hulk does eventually join the Avengers. Not sure yet. Hasn't been confirmed.
Has not been. I think he also does destroy a lot more things, though.
Hulk smash.
Hulk smash. Betty Ross. Don't you like Betty Ross more than you like Black Widow?
No. Absolutely not.
I don't know why. You love her.
No, I don't love anyone from that movie.
All right, well, let's talk about a funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer.
We already talked about it. Coulson kicks the shit out of some guys in a gas station who are trying to rob it for the $12 in the cash register. That's the entire plot.
I mean, you could say he drove an Acura because it was an advertised car.
Oh my god.
Not a sponsor.
Not the sponsor. He was driving Acura, which was an advertised car that ran out of gas because it didn't get good enough gas mileage. They didn't think that one through. He walks into the gas station while it's filling up. Takes $85 to fill up, by the way.
I think it was only 18.
Decide between powdered sugar and chocolate donuts. While that's happening, two guys rob the gas station. He throws them the keys to his Acura because he's so displeased by Acura's car, he's willing to give it to the robbers. And then he throws a bag of powder at one of the robbers and then does some jujitsu stuff on the other robbers, knocks them both out, buys his $1.50 worth of donuts, goes out to his car. I don't even know if he paid for the gas. I didn't see it happen. And,
yeah, he paid $18.95 for that.
Yeah, a gallon.
No, it was for the whole thing.
was like $89, dude.
It was 1898.
It was like $89.
Okay, sure. It was $89.
Yes, yes. And then he drives off into the sunset and tells the lady, tell her the Tabo classes are really paying off.
Yeah.
Or that's what she tells her to tell the cops.
Now, I don't know if you noticed this because Coulson's a fucking fighting genius. But his moves were very calculated when he was being held up. So when he is sitting there, he looks up and sees that the guys are robbing the store. He nonchalantly says, "What about me?" or something like that, because he wants them to point the gun away from her. That's his whole goal there. So then when they point the gun back at her, that's why he takes the gun out and goes, "What should I do with this?" Because he wants them to now be worried and both point their gun at him, which they do. Then when he says he's going to slide the gun down the other aisle, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, so and do a little hop, skip, and jump off a couple shelves there, and that's where the flower is as well.
Well, that, and the other thing was it takes him out of the line of sight of the further away guy to the right. The guy on the right isn't going to be able to see him bend down and grab the flower. So when he grabs on and throws the flower, it takes the guy off guard. And because the guy in front of him is the one dealing with the gun, he doesn't have to worry about him. He just has to knock him out first.
Yes.
So it's a whole... it shows you how calculated Coulson is.
Yes, that was a very good forensics breakdown by you.
Well, hey, Coulson hasn't been shown to fight at all in the MCU until this moment, so...
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, we gotta have this guy fight someone because he's pretty much just run away from trouble every time."
No, he's running to trouble. Trouble. He's like Taylor Swift. He's trouble, 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 trouble.
He wishes he was a sexy baby.
And he's a monster on the hill.
It's a monster to those two guys in the gas station robbing it.
They were sexy babies, and he was the monster on the hill.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, I guess, yeah, that pretty much wraps up a funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer. Now tell us, this might take a little bit longer, about Agent Carter.
Well, this is a year after Captain America crashed the plane.
But this isn't about Captain America. This is about Agent Carter.
Agent Carter, his spicy fling.
His spicy fling. Yeah. She wasn't his girlfriend or anything. They wanted to dance with each other.
Yeah. Dance.
Ooh, I want to dance. They wanted to fondue.
They wanted to fondue and horizontally tango.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. But anyway, she's working at this place called the SSR.
Do you remember what the SSR is?
I believe it's the Soviet Union.
That's the USSR.
USSR. I know.
This is the Strategic Scientific Reserve.
Yes, that's it. So she's working there, cracking codes. They don't send her on a mission. Ever.
Yeah, because she's a woman.
A woman. And this, keep in mind, this is in like the 1940s.
Yeah. Where men were stupid.
Yes.
And they never got past that.
Yes. Mission comes up, they're like, "Hey, the Zodiac Killer is on the loose." I don't know if it's... I don't think it's the actual Zodiac Killer, but some guy named the Zodiac.
Zodiac Killer. There's a serum that's called the Zodiac.
Yeah, Zodiac Killer, Zodiac Serum, same thing.
Yo, the whole time the Zodiac Killer was a serum.
Yes, that's why they never caught him.
Watch your back. The serum's gonna spill on you.
Yeah. They send these two schlubs out to try to catch this guy. and he gets away. So they come back to the office. They're like, we shot up his car. Boss couldn't get the serum, but you want to go get a couple beers with the boys. Well, actual words used right there. And Boss Man's like, yeah, let's go get some beers with the boys. Agent Carter gets up all excited, like she's going to get beers with the boys, does not get beers with the boys. But they give her some busy work to do. They're like, hey, clean up them case files on my desk.
They's a bit messy.
Yeah. They're a bit messy. Clean them up. While they're getting beers with the boys, she gets a call. The alarm goes off. Says,
Not the alarm.
Zodiac Killer is over in a barn over there.
Being experimented on. It's crazy.
Yeah. So she goes in. Old buddy's like 4 guys after, she kicks the ass of like 2 guys at the door and then holds one guy at gunpoint, locks him to the pipe. And then
pipes him up.
He's like, there's 4 guys back there. Turns out not true. There's 5.
Well, he said 4 and she says 4 including you, and he lies and says yes.
Yeah, liar.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
I bet she won't trust him next time.
I bet she won't. I bet she didn't trust him that time either.
She should have shot him.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. She beats up 2 of the guys with a baton or a wooden baseball bat. I believe that's very small.
A novelty bat.
Yeah, novelty baseball bat. I think it said the Yankees on there.
I think it said brains on there.
Yeah. And then she gassed the second guy. That was a very popular move by Germany in World War II.
I need you. It's a fair joke. It's a good joke, but I'm gonna need you to stop.
Joke even, but I need you to stop.
It's a good joke. It's a great joke even, but I need you to stop.
Anyway, she gives this guy some snooze gas. He passes out in a deep slumber, right? She's like, that's all. There's no more guys left. That's it.
That's all she wrote.
All she wrote. She goes.
He said 4.
Yeah, said 4. She counted 1, 2, 3, 4. She gets the Zodiac serum, and then
Not
that's
the killer.
when the Zodiac Killer is behind her.
I don't think that was the Zodiac Killer. The Zodiac Killer is also, I'm pretty sure, from the 80s.
There's a discrepancy in time, sure. I agree. But
oh, he probably used the time stone. My bad.
Yep, time stone. He has that for sure.
Turns out Doctor Strange is the Zodiac Killer.
They get into a scuffle, and he almost kills Agent Carter. A little shocking, because the memo did say he will shoot you on sight. He chooses not to shoot Agent Carter.
No, yeah, he would shoot the other agents on site, but not Agent Carter.
Not Agent Carter. She's got main character energy.
Can't shoot the main character.
They get into a scuffle, a real Donnybrook, if you will. And
not a Donnybrook.
It's a Donnybrook. And she stabs him in the leg, kicks him in the balls, punches him in the face.
Where'd she get the knife from?
Her suitcase, which seems to be a quite handy little briefcase there.
Yeah. Standard in all SSR. Sponsored by SSR briefcase.
Yeah, sponsored by SSR briefcase.
Get your briefcases.
You looking for a new briefcase to travel with and dismember your enemies?
Use promo code Marvel Cinematic University to get 20% off your knife case.
That's not a real ad.
Not a sponsor.
Not sponsored. Yeah, not a sponsor. Then she walks out of there, and boss man, not happy with her that she went on a mission, says, "No one's above protocols. Tisk tisk, woman."
Whoa.
And you got me off track there. Oh,
good.
And then he walks back, gets a call from old Mr. Stark, who's like, "Hey, she's coming to run Shield with me. You
In
gotta go tell
Washington.
her you're honored to give her the promotion."
And also offered to walk her out.
Yeah, and then she's like, "I've never needed your help. I'm a strong, independent woman that don't need no man."
Exactly. And
Yes.
I'm pretty sure, oh, that's not where it ends. Somebody forgot the golden rule of Marvel.
Oh, watch to the end. I did not watch it to the end.
So, there's
You
another.
really don't expect something to be at the end when it's only like 15 minutes long. It feels like they could have just put it in there to begin with.
It's the golden rule of Marvel. No matter how long it is, it might have an end credit scene. So
Despicable.
we cut back to Howard Stark sitting with Dum Dum Dugan. You might remember from Captain America.
Yup.
And they're ogling some women in bikinis because it's the first time either of them have ever seen bikinis.
Yeah, it was a new trend back then. They used to wear dresses to the beach.
I mean, they did.
Yes.
And then Dum Dum asks Howard, did he invent the bikini? And Howard says, no, it was the French. And Dum Dum just can't keep his eyes off, and that's where it ends.
Okay. Yeah.
Pretty vital to the MCU. But yeah, so that is the 3 one-shots.
1 shot, 2 shot, red shot, blue shot.
What about the 3rd shot?
That's the dead shot.
Well, you know what it's time for, Jake? It's time for some fun facts.
Ooh.
I only got a couple for you. I only got a couple for you today. So, the original version of A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Thor's Hammer would most likely have had the robber shoot his own foot off when Coulson kicked it. In the scene, we see the gun pointed directly at his own foot while it goes off, and he screams in pain. However, the CGI only shows the floor tiles are hit, even though the gun is pointed directly at his foot.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, I think he shot him in the foot. Makes more sense. That's typically something that would happen.
It was most likely cut to being too graphic.
Yeah, you remember how you said Coulson's always calculating,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
He figures they're going to have insurance buy him a new floor now. He hated the floor in that place.
He wanted a new floor.
Says get hardwood when he leaves.
Who puts hardwood in a gas station?
Cumberland Farms.
Is that true? Yuck.
Cumberland.
Yuck.
Wawas as well.
Yuck. Why would you want that?
Not a sponsor.
So that's the only fun fact I got for that one. I don't even have any fun facts for the consultant. For Agent Carter, the voice on the phone providing missions is Shane Black, the director of Iron Man 3.
Oh, that is a fun fact. I love when directors sneak into these movies.
And as you might recall, this was an extra on the Iron Man 3 DVD, so it makes sense that it's Shane Black.
Yes, yes.
Wait, a lot of Marvel directors have been in the MCU. Jon Favreau, Shane Black, I guess, what's his name? James Gunn hasn't been in the MCU yet, but his brother has.
Who's his brother?
His brother plays Kraglin.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, and then
James Gunn, Captain America, Iron Man. I just need him to remake all the Marvels.
I don't know if you know this yet. You probably don't. So you know Kevin Feige, right?
Who?
Oh man, we haven't talked. We're gonna have a whole lesson on Kevin Feige. Feige.
I don't know who he is.
Kevin Feige is the head of MCU. He's the one who makes like all the decisions and keeps everything connected.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like some kind of actor or director.
I mean, he's basically a producer.
Sure.
It's gonna come and be important because he does end up in the MCU as Kevin. There is a Kevin Feige in the MCU.
No.
But Kevin Feige, like he's the reason the MCU is happening, basically. So Warner Brothers said, we need to get our crap together and get somebody like Kevin Feige after already releasing 9 movies that were shit. So they've hired James Gunn in that role. So James Gunn is the new Kevin Feige. So all DC Comics movies might be James Gunn movies.
Sweet. DC might actually be decent.
Yes, exactly.
You just do like Peacemaker, a Peacemaker version of Batman.
Yep. That's good. What's going to happen, basically.
Peacemaker, Superman, like give me Batman dropping the F-bomb on Joker.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Also, now I realize I have to make a class about Kevin Feige. Like, we're going to have a whole episode dedicated to Kevin Feige.
No.
It's absolutely ridiculous that you don't know who Kevin Feige is.
I think it's fine. I know now.
Well, you'll know better enough. All right. Well, last couple of fun facts here for you. The address Agent Carter gets for her mission is an address on Rogers Avenue.
Steve Rogers.
That's the connection. I'm glad you put that together so fast. Good job, Jakey. And then at the end of the episode, Howard is wearing the same bathrobe Tony shows up in Iron Man 2.
I did notice that.
Yeah, even though it was also in the extra credits scene, but you didn't see that.
Yeah, no, I noticed it.
Also, I forgot to grade your interpretations of the shots. I gotta give those C pluses.
Better.
They were half-assed at best.
Oh.
You know what? I'll give you a B- because you did impress me with Agent Carter.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Well, Jake, don't forget, it's all connected.
It's all connected.
So we got to talk about the
spider web of connections.
Spider web of connections. Yep, a Spider-Man of connections.
Oh.
So we got to talk about how everything here is connected. So the Consultant takes place, as we mentioned, during the end events of the Hulk, where we learn the fate of Abomination and that he's being held under General Ross's sector. This is also where we learn that the World Security Council wants to recruit Abomination, not Hulk. They want nothing to do with Hulk on the Avengers.
Nope. They don't like Banner. Probably because he was a shitty actor.
They don't want that Bruce Banner. Get me another Bruce Banner.
They want Ruffalo.
The Consultant is also most likely Tony's first job for S.H.I.E.L.D. after the events of Iron Man 2, because it happened pretty much like the day after that weekend.
Yeah, it was, bang, bang.
Yeah. So it was his first job as a consultant. We already talked about how this was Sitwell's second appearance. And Coulson mentions in this he has level 7 security, but Sitwell thinks level 6 is the highest. We'll see this trend continue in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where most of the agents think level 6 is the highest.
And then Coulson's like, bigger dick, higher level.
Coulson does eventually get level 8.
Guy won't stop. Levels for him.
Well, we'll talk about it. I mean, once we get to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it gets a little crazy, but Coulson eventually takes Fury's job. We also learn here that the World Security Council blames Banner for the Harlem incident, not Blonsky.
We did learn that, yes.
Now, the connections for a funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer. As we talked about, this is what's happening while he's driving from Starks to New Mexico. The gas station that Coulson stops at is a Roxxon gas station. So he stops at Roxxon gas station, and you might recall Roxxon from when we talked about Iron Man 1. You probably don't, but you should. So when Tony and Obadiah are fighting...
Levi Strauss jeans.
Yeah, Levi Strauss. When Tony and Levi Strauss are fighting, they are fighting at a Roxxon station for a little bit. And I brought it up then. Roxxon appears a lot in the background of Marvel movies. Because in the comics, Roxxon is like an evil organization.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I was wondering what the significance was there.
Yes.
Unless it's just like, you're just like, oh yeah, it's a gas station. It appears in like 12 out of the movies. Or in 12
Yeah.
movies.
It appears in a lot of movies. It appears in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show a lot. And I'm trying to remember if they actually did something with Roxanne. I think they did. But it also appears in Loki. It's a main area in Loki where they fight, or they're trying to capture female Loki.
Oh. They get her at the gas station. Probably because they have a good selection of donuts.
I think that big store has a good selection of donuts too.
Yeah.
So we'll probably talk more about them in the future as they continue to appear in these projects. I think they appeared in Thor as well. Now for Agent Carter has a few. The scene from Captain America is actually re-edited to be from Carter's perspective, where in the movie it was from Captain America's perspective. And some of the lines of dialogue are also altered. And they don't talk about the dance at the end. He just says Peggy, and she says Steve.
Steve.
Agent Carter. In this short, Agent Carter is working for Strategic Scientific Reserve, the SSR, the predecessor to S.H.I.E.L.D. It's also important because when Stark calls the SSR to say, hey, we're running this with Agent Carter, in Winter Soldier, we find out Agent Carter, Stark, and the general from Captain America were the three heads of S.H.I.E.L.D., or they were the founders of S.H.I.E.L.D. We'll get into more of that when we start talking about Winter Soldier. And then the Zodiac serum, not the killer, but the serum, is most likely a chemical weapon and actually comes back in the Captain America, the Winter Soldier comic prelude. Where one of the villains in that, while Captain America and Black Widow are on a mission, they discover that this guy is trying to release a serum called the Zodiac serum. And it's the same serum that appeared 80 years earlier. So Stark also recruits Carter to run S.H.I.E.L.D. However, the creation of S.H.I.E.L.D. is put on hold due to the events in Agent Carter. So
which we'll find out about.
Yeah, we'll find out about it. Yeah, so she doesn't actually go directly to S.H.I.E.L.D. She's still working for the SSR when we find her in Agent Carter.
She should have blown that chicken coop the second Stark called her.
Exactly. Well, so the problem is Stark ends up going under suspicion for something. I don't remember Agent Carter that well. That's why I'm going to have to watch it with you while I teach you.
Classic Stark move, being under suspicion, but you know.
And that's all I got for you for connections, fun facts, and all that jazz. So you know what that means?
That was good. You got my brain filled with knowledge, as always.
Well, good. So let's put that knowledge to the test, because I have a quiz prepped for you. You ready for your pop quiz? You thought I was just grading on story again. Question number 1. Who is the agent sitting with Coulson and the consultant? Is it A, Agent Hill, B, Agent Fitz, C, Agent Sitwell, or D, Agent Johnson?
Agent Good.
No, he sits well. You were incorrect.
No, this Sitwell. Come on.
Okay, yes, I'll give you the correct on that one, I suppose. I meant to bring this one up, and I almost didn't. I was bringing it up, and you interrupted me, so I don't feel bad if you don't get the answer right. What is on the mug Agent Sitwell is sipping from? Is it A, a S.H.I.E.L.D. logo, B, the Captain America logo, C, his name, or D, the Dr. Pepper logo?
The Dr. Pepper logo?
That is correct. There is you had talked about we were talking about branding, and I meant to say it, and you interrupted me as I was about to say it, and then I never went back to it.
You know how I knew that?
Because you watched it?
Because I watched it and I paid attention to all the stupid little details because I knew you're going to ask me about them. You're going to say somehow. It's significant because in all the Avengers movies, Dr. Pepper is drank by Captain America.
You're right. I will do that.
And Dr. Pepper actually funds Shield when they go from Shield to Hydra.
Dr. Pepper is actually the parent company to Roxxon.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
All right. Question number 3. Who is the consultant? A. General Ross. B. Tony Stark. C. Coulson. Or D. Emil Blonsky?
It is indeed Tony Stark.
That is correct. Question number 4. What is the name of the gas station Coulson stops at? Is it A. Roxxon, B. Cumberland Farms, C. Dynaco, or D. Stark Gas?
Roxxon, but it's funny that Cumberland Farms was in there.
I thought you would find that funny.
Dynaco too.
All right. Question number 5. What was Coulson shopping for? Was it A. Batteries, B. Doritos, C. Dr. Pepper, or D. Snack donuts?
They were Little Debbie snack donuts.
That is correct.
People have theorized that he was in fact going to grab a Dr. Pepper as well, but they robbed him, so he forgot to grab the Dr. Pepper.
He didn't get a chance to grab that.
Yeah, no, there was a time.
All right. Question number 6. How much was Coulson's gas? Was it A, $35.76, B, $10.34, C, $18.98, or D, $25.05? I want you to know during the episode, I gave you this answer 3 times, and you kept interrupting me and telling me the wrong answer. That is correct.
I know the answer. I disagree, but I know it's 1898.
That's how I knew it. As you were saying, oh, you probably spent $40. I was just looking at the quiz going, it was 1898. It was 1898. And I'm like, I wonder if he's going to get this right when we get to the quiz, or if he's going to forget what I said and try to say the higher number.
$89.
All right. Question number 7. Who is the lead of the SSR division where Carter works? Is it A, John Flynn, B, Agent Carter, C, Howard Stark, or D, Colonel Chester Phillips?
John Flynn.
That is correct. Agent Carter is not in charge, Howard Stark is not in charge, and Colonel Chester Phillips is the colonel from Captain America.
Yes.
Question number 8. What is the name of the chemical Peggy searches for? Is it A, Gamma, B, Zodiac, C, Erskine, or D, Chemical X?
Zodiac.
That is incorrect. She's looking for the Zodiac Killer. You said that yourself.
Oh, right, damn. Sorry.
No, that is correct.
I got that one wrong. It was not one of the choices, but you know.
I'm honestly like, you paid really well attention to these because I know you're gonna get every answer correct here. Because we talked way too much in depth about this. It's almost like we should have just done a quick summary and like a 5-word sentence. Question number 9. What does Peggy pull a knife from? Is it A, her briefcase, B, her ankle holster, C, the enemy's back, or D, her gun?
It was, in fact, her briefcase.
That is correct. Question number 10. Who is sitting with Howard admiring the bikini? Is it A, Jarvis, B, Chester Phillips, C, Nick Fury Sr., or D, Dum Dum Dugan?
Dum Dum Dugan?
That is correct. Well, that is an A+ for you on that quiz. I'm pretty sure you got every answer right. Let me see.
I did actually get every answer right.
Good job.
Except the Zodiac Killer one.
Yeah, no, that was a stupid.
Wrong.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
I'm getting that wrong, and I should feel bad about it.
So you know what? For these one shots, out of the kindness of my heart, I'm gonna give you an A-.
Okay.
Even though you deserve a B-. But yeah, so that's it for the 3 one-shots we talked about today. The Consultant, Thor's Hammer, and Agent Carter. Do you have any questions for me, Jake?
I do not.
Perfect. Well, there's the bell. Your homework for this week is to watch The Avengers Assemble.
Yes, good movie.
Once again, you can find the podcast every Thursday on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, and Stitcher. Pretty much anywhere you get podcasts from. Working on expanding that. It comes in video form on YouTube and Spotify. And yeah, we'll see you next week. I'm Alex. This is Jake. Jake,
And
you got any
don't
final
forget to
words?
subscribe and turn on notifications so you see when our podcast comes out.
And because he said it, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't.